So we've been looking forward to this movie for so freaking long, and we watched it opening day at a small theater in 3D, and then we decided we wanted to watch it again, and we watched it in IMAX. This is our third time that we watched it because we wanted to go in fresh, and we really, really enjoyed all our other times watching it. So,
I just have one question for you. One question. Why do you do that thing where you sit like this and you go and flip your hair back and forth and back and forth? And
because
it's like you think everybody's looking at you. Hey, you're such a poser.
And she was like, those poses have saved so many lives. Well, this is the time I'm going to give everybody a spoiler alert for this because we're going to have some spoiler discussion. Yes. If you haven't watched this movie, I do think that most people would really enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed it.
I think it is one of those movies that it 100% benefits from a second watch.
Yes, it does.
At the very least. A third watch if you're wanting to just be a little gluttonous. But a second watch for sure. Definitely watch it a second time because I think
leftovers
you'll
are good.
Like it more than even the first time.
Yes,
so.
You see a lot more connections, and I think the script really comes out in the second watch
because you're noticing more. And I think maybe that is one of the problems with it because with a movie you're supposed to pick that stuff up the first time anyway. Like it should be a pretty solid piece on the first watch, and so maybe where this movie kind of lacks is in the stuff that it kind of. That you kind of missed.
That wasn't as blatant.
Yeah.
Well, I like that about this because it's honestly, I was relating things back to Buffy. It's one of the things I love so much about Buffy is that I can watch Buffy literally 100 times, and I can always find new things that I didn't catch on those other viewings. And I think that it's an incredible piece of art when you can do that, where you can. It never gets old. And I think that was actually a hang up a lot of people had about Marvel before where it wasn't as intricate. You know, they're like, oh, it's so, face value. There's nothing to like really dig into. And I think that this movie is something you can really dig into.
I think it has a lot of themes that you can relate to. I don't know about digging in.
Well, digging into the dialogue, digging into the dialogue, finding all these connections that they've made, and the I think pretty cohesive story that they put together. So while we are reviewing this, before we get a little too much, because right behind me, so right here actually. We have our figure that we got, the Legend Series figure that we got like last year when it was about to come out.
That for your birthday in 2019, I believe.
Yes. And this is her in
her
snow suit. Was it
2019 or was it 2020? Maybe it was 2020.
I think it might have been 2020.
I don't know. It was either 2019 or 2020, but I got him that.
And
they had all the other figures too. Our Target never has anything these days. They never have any sort of figures. They never have anything. But at the time that this came out, this was like pre-pandemic. They had all of the Black Widow figures, like
because it was about to come out.
Yeah, and we should have just gotten all of them.
We should have, but I didn't have a love for these characters yet.
So we'll be unboxing this.
No, we're not going to be unboxing. No, Zachary, don't even freaking touch it.
Okay. Damn.
I want to make sure that's good. Anyways, we will be unboxing the hot toy that we got ourselves for our anniversary. It's still in the shipping box, and so we'll be unboxing it while we are doing the review. Keep in mind that this hot toy is a hot toy for Endgame Black Widow, not
well, because at the time the movie came out, they had released the white suit version of Black Widow for the Black Widow movie, but they didn't have a normal black suit version. So I thought they weren't going to do that because it's pretty similar to this. And then they did release it,
but it is unique.
And it looks really good. Actually, if next year I will probably get it if it's the same sort of situation as this, because this one doesn't seem like it was selling very well because it was still available and they were like really pushing it. And so we picked it up because, like, I don't know, we wanted it so
wanted
bad.
it,
We
yeah.
really wanted it. Every day that went by, we would look at it and we'd be like, oh, I just want to get it. And so,
And we
the
watched
other
the movie and we immediately had to have
yes,
it.
and so I think we ordered it that same day. But what I really want is the one with the gold belt. I like that the Black Widow version has the gold belt, and so I'd like to get that when that comes out.
So,
But
yeah, we're
these
probably gonna get
things
that
you
one.
pre-order like a year in advance, so when it releases, like it's releasing alongside the movie, it's saying, hey, you can pre-order the Black Widow figure from Black Widow, but you won't get it until 2022. So like when WandaVision came out, they released, or they promoted a Scarlet Witch hot toy, but it won't be released until August of 2022.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
sometimes they make little changes
Yeah.
between like this is our
they changed the
mock-up
hair to the Black or to
Yeah.
the Scarlet Witch
to
I
be more
think.
screen version, and oh gosh, I forgot to set a timer for this.
I have a timer going.
Okay,
We're
but
at 6 minutes 28
so
seconds.
we're gonna be unboxing this a little bit while we talk about it.
Yes.
So I think the first impressions for this movie for me were first impressions. I really liked it, obviously overall, and I thought the third act was maybe the weakest portion of
The
this.
third act was the weakest part of the movie. Yes.
Yes. And then but I really liked it. I really, really, really liked it. One of my top, I would say, 5 favorite MCU movies, maybe even more than that. And I was actually listening to other people talk about it, and it made me think, oh my gosh, maybe I didn't like it as much because they were being very critical of it. I can understand their criticisms. And then we went to watch it a second time, and I was like, no,
It was
I
that
freaking
second
love
watch
it.
that did it for me. The second watch,
Yeah.
because I liked it the first one, it was pretty solid, but I had a lot of problems with it. The second watch, even the third act, didn't bother me as much. I just wasn't as engaged during the third act, but like the opening, even on this third watch that we did today, I already know you messed up. The third. I already saw it, but I'm not gonna say nothing because everybody calls me on the comments like you're so mean to Alastair. Even on the third watch, the opening, the beginning, so spoiler warning, obviously. The beginning that's set in like it's in the 90s. What year is that anyway? It's set at some point in the 90s.
Well, it's set 21 years, so 21 years before.
I don't know if we're gonna do the math. It's in the 90s, but like it's Natasha Romanoff as a child and Yelena as a child and like a younger Rachel Weisz and what is his name? Stranger Things guy, the Red Guardian.
I'm bringing the cast.
Well, it's them in the 90s, and like it shows them kind of as this, like we see them and they're this family, and this is what really did surprise me because I don't know anything about the comics or anything like that, but seeing the trailer, thought they were a real family. I thought they were actually
David Harbour.
related. It's David Harbour. I thought they were really related. I didn't know that they were a plant family and they weren't really related.
I didn't expect it either.
I was just shocked, and it made me so sad. It made me so sad because I like them as a family. This family, this younger version of this family really works well, and then the older version of the family really works well. I think it is. I don't know. It like sucks that they only did this for one movie. I would have liked to have seen more of it.
Yes, and I think we had the conversation before. So like Black Widow's been waiting for her own movie. It feels like forever because it's really been a
whole injustice,
guy's game
an injustice
for the
is
most
what it
part.
is.
And I think nowadays, especially with Phase 5, the MCU is doing a lot of course correction, especially with representation and representation of also women. And I'm hoping that they do a really good balance of men and women, and not just overcorrect. But the person who we've always been waiting for a movie from has been Black Widow, and she finally gets a movie. Mm-hmm. But the conversation we had was, it would have been nice if it was like, I'm about to, anyways, it would have been nice if it was a trilogy of movies, where like one took place while she was in the Red Room. Then we had like a Budapest one, and then we had this one, something like that.
Yeah, and the whole 3 year, because we learned that this family in the beginning, they've been on this like kind of mission for 3 years before they complete their mission, and I think it would have been nice to have seen the family on that mission for like that would have been like its own show, you know. I would have been really happy with that. I like it. I wish it was like right here. There's like a weird air pocket though.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably just the suit. That is a little weird.
Why not just like fit it to the figure's body?
It's a little odd there.
Weird. Yeah. So, but I really, really enjoy the beginning. The beginning is so great, and then it leads into this like video montage because this family like comes out of their posting, and they're hunted down by Shield. We see a Shield cameo. And it's just really cool. They're getting in this plane, this getaway plane, and they're driving away, or they're flying away. And Rachel Weisz gets shot, and Milena gets shot, and Natasha Romanoff has to help fly the plane. She looks so good. Has to help fly the plane, and
which is what's her name? Jojovich's daughter.
Yes, Mila Jovovich.
Yes,
Resident Evil. So the family gets away and they escape to Cuba, and when they get there, I guess the Red Guardian had. Was this the guy? What is his name?
David. Sorry, David Harbour.
No, who the big bad of the movie?
Oh, the big bad of the movie. Gosh, now
okay,
it's Dreykov.
Okay. Yeah, and so we see them.
We watched this 3 times.
We watched it 3 times. I think I'm just like so engaged with this figure that I'm kind of forgetting what I'm having to say. Anyway, and so the 2 little girls, Natasha is like, I don't know, it didn't really say her age, but like Yelena is 6, and so they get taken, and then we get this really insane video montage that has a lot of callbacks to like it's very, very reminiscent of like child trafficking.
Child trafficking,
yes,
yeah.
And it's like so dark, disturbing. We're seeing these shipping containers full of young girls being taken and trained to be like these assassins, and it's really messed up. I'm trying not to cuss because this is Alastair.
And I think it's really relevant. So the cover is "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Malia
it's
J.
a slowed down version of Smells Like
and
Teen Spirit.
I really like it. I really, really like it, and I think it really fit what they were trying to do. And I think that yes, they're talking about child trafficking, especially almost like sex trafficking, especially with these girls. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's very relevant because even though it's not necessarily, I'm not going to say it doesn't happen with in this Black Widow program, but not necessarily for sex. But their bodies are violated. Their bodies,
well, they receive
no matter what.
Yeah,
they receive, they're doing stuff
like
against
forced hysterectomies, and they are. It's just the whole opening like credit sequence montage is just so well done. It is really well done, and it sets up the movie perfectly. And that alone would have made a great show or a great movie. Like Black Widow deserved a trilogy. It should have started with her as a child, maybe in the middle where we see her kind of join the Avengers, and then here where we see her ending. And
at this point, we don't really know if I would almost doubt whether Scarlett Johansson wouldn't come back. Because she's doing the Tower of Terror for Disney, mm-hmm. and then Chris Hemsworth is doing that like show for Discovery, which is owned by Disney, and then. Chris, what's the other Chris?
Hemsworth?
No, not the other Chris. Why am I forgetting Chris' name?
Chris
Evans is doing Buzz Lightyear, mm-hmm. and they're definitely keeping around their like cast of people, like keeping them around and kind of maybe happy just in case they bring him back.
I think she's gonna come back at some point, but
especially with the end of Loki, I feel like it brings it all into it a little bit more.
Yeah, and it would be cool to see her come back, but it's just a missed opportunity that we've had here. Is that Scarlett Johansson deserved a trilogy of her own. She was a big part of the MCU, and I don't think she was respected as well as the men were in this franchise.
True, and I think that Scarlett Johansson can be funny, and for a lot of the time she was kind of put into a very like, I would say a role that women are often put into.
Yeah.
In the movies, and it was like kind of refreshing to see Yelena just like be just casual.
Yeah.
And I felt like for Scarlet Witch. The way Scarlett Johansson played Black Widow was in a way where I felt like she was always guarded, and Yelena plays Black Widow in a way that I feel like she's free and she's relishing being free. Don't do that, Zachary. That's messed up.
What?
I know what you're trying to do.
I was making her have
Jump off of something really high
she was
and land like this.
No, she was in flight. You cut me off right before I was able to do this with her legs. Damn. You know, you can play with the toy by yourself. Here, enjoy, Alastair. Enjoy.
Well, this third time that the first couple times we watched it, her death, I thought we'd be thinking about her death a lot more during it, but it wasn't until this third time that I kept on thinking it through. Like, this is the last time she'll do this. This is the last time she'll do that, especially with her family.
I honestly didn't. I thought the death would loom over the movie a little bit more, and it didn't really for me. I very, 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 like I said in the beginning, I really enjoyed the family aspect of it. I really, really enjoyed Natasha and Yelena as sisters. I think Florence Pugh was a fantastic addition to this series. In my opinion, I don't believe that that Scarlett Johansson was overshadowed by Florence Pugh in this. I feel like Scarlett Johansson had her moment to shine, but she also...
I think they both complemented each other.
Yeah, I think they complemented each other really well. I thought something was broken. I think they complemented each other really well, and it just like I'm excited to see Florence Pugh in the MCU now. Like, I think it was such a great introduction for her character,
and she has great comedic timing. I think
she does. She's so good.
And
she's so good.
She brings something different to the foreground, and okay. So we talked about the chase intro, and this all takes place after Civil War, and I really liked them linking it back there in order to like give us a time frame of when it's happening, and her basically telling the general, you know what, don't embarrass yourself by coming after me, and I like the intro for her, and then she's now abroad. She's now trying to
run and hiding.
Yes, I love it. And then we see OT Fag Bentley on the bed.
Yeah.
And we went to go see the third time. We went to go see it with some friends who are also big fans of Handmaids.
Yes, everybody. I heard everybody go. Like, oh my God! Look who it is! It's Luke.
So and we knew that he was going to be in there.
Yeah.
The shock for us the first time was that
he's not the Taskmaster. I thought he was going to be the Taskmaster.
Oh, I was going to say his accent.
Oh yeah, he's British. But no, the Taskmaster. I expected him to be the Taskmaster because I think we heard that somewhere that he was the Taskmaster.
Well, I think they wanted us to think that he was going to be.
And I think the twist of the Taskmaster actually was it paid off really well. I think that part was really well done.
See, I go back and forth about that.
Yeah.
Where I like the twist, but I don't like it for the Taskmaster character.
I was surprised,
and I'm wondering I don't know. I think it's one of those moments that I'm hoping that they kind of expand on a little bit more, and why that happened, and maybe she's not the only Taskmaster, or they I don't know, based on the body type.
Well, so the Taskmaster is Antonia, who is what is his name? I keep forgetting the big bad's name.
Dracov's
daughter, who Natasha killed in order to kill Dreykov, but she didn't end up killing either of them.
No.
So is she really a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. or a part of any of this?
No.
No.
I mean, stop. But
no. So that's the reveal, is that it's Antonia, and Antonia has like a chip in the back of her head, just like all the Black Widows, and she is. I mean, they don't have a chip, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, he said that that she specifically has a chip.
She has a chip. Yeah.
I'm guessing that chip helps with her brain function and probably helps her mimic abilities.
Well, and she's dressed up in a very male. The costume is definitely looked like it's designed for a male, so it's almost like her father has like masked her as this male,
which I thought was a little odd.
Yeah.
But
No, I didn't think it was odd. It was just showing what because he looks like he's freaking supposed to be Harvey Weinstein. So I guess they're trying to make a comment on like what he thinks of women and stuff like that, and like a woman, it's man's world, and
he does look like Harvey Weinstein.
So it would make sense that he would be, instead of having a daughter, he always wanted a son, and he would just dress her up like they would be his perfect son.
No, I get that, but he was also using her just as a tool, as an object.
Yeah, because
just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then after OT Fagmanley, I love the moment when she's like watching James Bond, because it's like this movie does feel like it's just like it's like a spy thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leaves because she needs to go fill up her tank with gas, and then I know it's coming, but it always shocks me when
the car gets struck. Yeah,
she gets struck.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a pretty good action sequence between her.
Where do you
and
think the movie
Taskmaster.
starts to slow down? Because for me, it goes at a pretty rapid pace for a long time, and then it kind of slows down. I think it slows down when it gets to the Red Room.
No,
not for you.
No, it slows down, and I'm not saying it slows down in a bad way, but it slows down literally when they come together as a family. And we have to take a pause.
Okay, so it may yes.
In order to do that. And then it speeds slightly back up when they get seized, and then it slows down a bit, and we kind of go through that dialogue. And at first, that bothered me, I want to say. But this third time watching it through, I was watching this movie as if it's just an all-out superhero movie.
Yeah.
So I expected the third act to be a huge superhero bust caps.
Well, and they did make it so it was supposed to be this big spectacle, right? It was supposed to be smash, but like it didn't really. I think it would have been even better if like we saw Scarlett Johansson going up against like 100 Black Widows or something like that. I think that would very like Kill Bill against like the Crazy 88. Like I think that would have been pretty freaking epic. Maybe she doesn't kill them all, but like she, in order to get to Dreykov, has to like he's deployed all of his Black Widows on her, and she has to get through them, and she ends up. I think there was too much of a focus on her and Dreykov, and I understand that he's the big bad, but there were more compelling. Word adversary.
No,
there were more compelling
I think
people
that would have
she
been
could have gone
very
up against.
cool.
Yeah.
For her to go like that's fight scene with the Black Widows at the end. I think that they could have expanded upon that a lot.
And then,
however, the meeting with Dreykov, I like it this time that I'm watching it because in Black Widow, what she's done before in the MCU is she's the one who has that conversation. She sits there while she's being interrogated, while she's actually interrogating somebody else in Avengers. She goes in at the last minute with somebody else's face and basically questions and gets stuff out. She gets information out of people. That's one part of her superpower, and that's what she did with Dreykov. So at first I didn't appreciate it as much, but after this third time, I liked that a lot.
But I think that would have been better had she had more, because maybe the person she needs to interrogate would be Dreykov, right? But like everybody else, she would have had fights against, where she did, but like they should have been bigger. Those should have been the big fight moments. Like her versus the Taskmaster, her versus Antonia should have been like really big. That should have been on its
instead
own,
of like a 30-second thing.
It should have been a big fight, because it's also her reckoning what she did to Antonia, and it should have been a bigger thing.
No, I agree. I definitely agree that that's one of the things I would have changed. Speaking of fights, like I think my favorite fight in the entire movie was the fight between her and Yelena when they saw each other in Budapest. And you know what I noticed in this other time rewatching it is when Yelena leaves the picture in the vials, she leaves half the picture. That meant she kept the other half, and I was like, oh my gosh, she kept the other half because you can see it's ripped because it's a 4 thing. What are you doing?
Well, just keep talking. Keep talking.
Oh.
Don't worry about me. You see him about to snatch this figure away from me?
Well, I really...
Is this the kind of kid you were with toys? Did you like it?
No.
You didn't like it? Okay. Keep going. Continue.
But like, what do you think of their fight?
I'm trying to think of what my favorite fight is because I liked so many of them. Gosh, I think my favorite overall scene, maybe not fight. My favorite fight, I think, would be between those two because they're just so good together, right? And their chemistry is just off the charts.
Oh yeah,
I think my favorite scene of the entire thing is when they rescue Alexei from prison with the snow and everything. I love a snow scene. And so
it was one of their bigger scenes.
it was pretty freaking cool, you know. And they were like, and like he just couldn't manage to escape on his own, so they're like, oh, freaking dad.
We have to because he run up the wall,
Yes.
and then she's like, she's like, well, I have to go down there and help him.
Yeah.
And then she goes out and like
And
flips
she does
all
it. She does a
elegantly.
flip, and the other one, Yelena's like,
Right,
it's such a poser.
Like,
And then
she is.
and then Yelena is like really shit at driving a helicopter, and she almost cuts Scarlett Johansson's head off.
Oh, God. Well, I've noticed that they've kind of made that like a little bit of her character is that she's not the best with driving.
Well, I think she was or she is like super efficient as like a child assassin.
Yeah, as a child assassin.
She's he's the most deadly child assassin. So much efficiency, but then like she's kind of clumsy when she's not being controlled by the Red Room.
No, I want to say clumsy. I think she's free right now, and but she is a little clumsy, and I do really enjoy it, and I could tell even during their fight and other stuff that Black Widow, the Scarlett Johansson, Natasha, just had a slightly bigger edge on her, which makes sense because of all the experience that she has and all the time. So I'm really excited to see Yelena's like development in the MCU. I also really liked the family dynamic. I really like the family dynamic, especially when they're sitting down at the table. And I really like these moments, especially in the MCU. I think they call them like slice of life moments, where instead of like action happening around, they're like kind of living life, just having a meal, and we're watching their conversation.
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed that.
I think the comedy was sprinkled really well throughout scenes like this too.
Yes,
I think it was really well done, and I know I've heard some criticism on the comedy in it, that it's maybe too goofy.
Yes. But the comedy and the drama are there.
Yeah,
and
I think
Florence
Pugh sells the drama so
well.
I
always want to cry when
I know. Has anybody seen her in Midsummer? Like Midsummer as a movie on its own is like, but like Florence Pugh in
performance,
Midsummer, Florence Pugh is an actress.
And gosh, well, especially with they were all laughing and joking, and then Natasha's like, "No, we aren't family. This isn't real." And,
that hurt my heart.
And she was like, "This is real? How is like?"
She's like, "This isn't real. It was real to me. You were my mother. You were my mother."
I was about to cry.
None of you told me that this wasn't real. That you weren't my family.
Gosh, she acted the butt out of that.
I forget I can't cuss.
And she
you should allow me one cuss word per review we do on your channel. She acted the shit out of that.
I'll just have to bleep it out. No, she does that, and then she has her scene with the mother, and then she goes and she has the scene with the father, and the father scene ties back to her favorite song, Die, Die, Miss American.
Is it Die? It's Bye Bye.
Oh, what did I say?
Bye,
Die. Bye, Bye, Miss American Pie.
Today will be the day that I die. I've actually never known any of the lyrics to that. I've only known Bye Bye, Miss American Pie.
Yeah, it's a little bit
and now
darker.
I'm like, drove the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry, and I'm like,
I know.
Dark. It's real dark.
I know, and I like that. That's her favorite song, and she always jokes about this is a good time to die.
Yeah,
and I hope that becomes kind of a staple for her character throughout the MCU whenever she comes back in different ways. So I really like that moment that her and her surrogate father had, and then meanwhile that. We find out that Natasha his mother didn't give her up, that she was taken because
I didn't care about these emotional beats very much.
Well,
I understood
I
why
liked
they were
it
there.
because I think it kind of slightly explained why Natasha can keep up so much with other people who are so much stronger than her, is because they were looking for somebody with her genetics to be able to like.
Well, so it was good explanation.
Yeah.
But, like, I understand that we were supposed to be feeling something, that, like, she had this mother who didn't give her up, but, like, in my mind, Rachel Weisz is her mother. So she doesn't need to be complaining about her other mother. You know, she had a mother for 3 years. That's all you need.
Yeah. That what? Sorry if that hurt anybody's ears.
That's gonna hurt everybody's ears.
No.
Yeah, that's a joke.
I liked it, but Melinda, I thought after her scene with the pig.
So
I think she's
couple
evil.
times I've had to take the during the pig part. I've had to go to the bathroom because I don't want to see that.
But like, during the pig part. So I think, and like, she's had such a huge thing to do with this. So I feel like she's gonna lead the Red Room after this. I think that she's gonna secretly lead the Red Room.
Oh, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
I could see it happening. And then I really enjoy, like, Alexei is kind of like he's kind of a himbo.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of a himbo, but like he cares about his girls, but at the same time he is also selfish. And if they gave him the Red Guardian suit back and asked him to go back into action against them, I feel like he would probably do it.
He would do it, but he wouldn't kill them.
But like he wouldn't kill them, no. But I love him, and I love that he had. If you notice, he has Yelena and Natasha tattooed on his arm, and then on the other side he has
Melina.
Yeah.
Well, it was. I like that this was a story about family, and that was something that when Black Widow died in Endgame, like her big thing with Jeremy Renner's character Hawkeye was that he had a family and she didn't, and guess
she
what?
Does though. She does. So I kind of wish there was like. See, now it makes no sense because she does have a family.
No, it still makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Because he doesn't know that about her. He doesn't know all this.
But she has a family.
And he had kids. She didn't have kids. And that's the way she was thinking about it.
We are family. We will always be a family.
Because she also has the rest of the Avengers. She was thinking of him and his kids and his wife. And making that sacrifice, for them. And that kind of brings us really to, so it ended really nicely where Yelena gave her the vest.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, now I want
such a good tie-in.
Now I want the Infinity War hot toy because it has the vest included. And I'm like,
but it has threaded hair.
Yes, so I'm hoping they release a Yelena hot toy, and then we can just get her.
Yes,
but she's like, look at this vest. It has so many pockets. Look at it. It's got little pockets
she's
everywhere.
Like, yes, it's cool. Yes, I know. It's so cool.
You wouldn't even know.
She gives me Brando energy.
She does. I just love her excitement for like her newfound freedom. This whole movie was like a Free Britney advert.
It was.
It was.
It was Black Widow's commentary on Free Britney.
Yeah.
But like I really liked seeing her at the end in her whole Infinity War getup, going over and probably teaming up with Steve to break people out of the raft, and I really enjoyed that. And then we stayed for the end credit scenes, and the end credit scenes were serving Buffy, Clueless, all right there.
It felt like a lot of Buffy. So Yelena and Natasha felt like Buffy and Dawn. To me,
Buffy and Dawn
as a sister relationship.
Yeah, because
their relationship,
I can see that. Yeah,
really sisters, and Buffy and Dawn weren't really sisters.
The monks made you out of me. Dawn.
I know, Yelena's a key.
Well, when I saw the tombstone, I was like, oh my gosh, and then I saw like friend, daughter, Avenger. I kept on thinking that she saved the world a lot.
Oh my gosh, when you saw her tombstone on the edge, Natasha Romanoff, she saved the world a lot.
And she gets out and she like hugs the tombstone, and then we see
Julia Dreyfus.
Julia Dreyfus's character that we saw in Falcon Winter Soldier talk to her and tell her that her new target is Hawkeye.
Good. Just kill him. Just kill him off. Kill Hawkeye. I don't care about Hawkeye.
So we're gonna see
why is he
her in
still
Hawkeye.
alive? Yeah.
We're gonna see her in
Good. And I
Hawkeye.
hope he kills her. Or hope she kills his
What?
ass. I hope she kills his ass.
Why? Or maybe they'll turn into a love story.
No, please don't do this to me. Don't do this.
I feel like you would
I
hate
feel
that
like we're
so
missing
much.
a lot from this movie, but like I don't know. I enjoyed the whole thing.
I mean, we talked about it a lot.
Yeah, I'm excited to get it on 4K, like on a steelbook or something like that, 4K Ultra HD or something like that. We watched it twice in IMAX, and it is stunning. You know,
We watched it twice in IMAX,
Yeah.
once in 3D. I would say 3D is good, but I don't think there's anything that literally jumped out at me that made it like 3D.
I think it's
worthy.
also the Brownwood movie theaters, but maybe not entirely equipped for 3D.
You're probably right. I just thought they had a shaky screen and they just had us put on glasses.
What was your absolute favorite scene in this whole thing, this whole movie? What was your favorite scene? So I already said that Alexi's escape from prison was mine.
I would say the Black Widow's fight between Yelena and Natasha.
Black Widow's fight between Yelena and what?
Because they're both Black Widows.
Okay.
I like that one a lot.
That's your favorite scene too, and favorite fight.
Okay, so that's my favorite.
both?
Okay, that's my favorite fight. My favorite scene is definitely going to be the scene at the table with all of them.
Oh, that was a very nice one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Ooh, but she also had that cool scene of her breaking her nose.
She had like
putting it
there's
back.
the third act stuff. I just wasn't into it, like her having to break the nose, and like
What-
I'm not a fan of like a quick flashback scene to explain where we're at. I just want to see it in the movie, you know. So
What- yeah.
and like the whole breaking of the nose thing. I wasn't a big fan of that.
But I do think that in this movie, Black Widow as Natasha Romanoff proves why she is an Avenger and serves at an Avenger superhero level while not really being a superhero. You know, that her skills and abilities are that great.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
yeah,
become
that's,
friends at the end.
they become friends.
Mm-hmm. Hope. She says, "This is hope." She said, "What the hell is a Star War?"
She's like, I just ended Endgame.
I know.
She's like, I didn't even get a funeral at the end of Endgame, but
Don't
I got
do
a
this to me.
tombstone at
Don't
the end
do
of
it to
Black
me.
Widow.
And the only person who's taking care of this tombstone and visiting it is fucking Yelena. I'm sorry,
and it's in Ohio too. So
It was in Ohio.
Yes.
And I love the scene where she's like,
Here's the four
I created
stars.
a new birth certificate for me. A whole new background. You moved west. Your husband's in real estate.
Oh, don't make me cry.
I know. It's so sad. I really just like they really missed out with a whole trilogy of movies with this family.
And with the chemistry between all of these characters,
They had so much chemistry.
This family of characters
Yeah.
had so much chemistry, and I really hope. I'm actually just really hoping that this movie does well because I don't want the haters to be proven wrong. Yeah, that's all we got for Black Widow. Let us know if you guys watch it, if you intend to watch it. What are your thoughts in the comments down below?
What was your favorite scene and what was your favorite fight?
Yes, and do you prefer her Black
This is
Widow
Yelena
outfit?
right now. This is Yelena. Right
Do you prefer her classic Black Widow outfit with the gold in this one, or do you prefer the white snowsuit?
Yes.
I prefer the black.
You know her hair's not accurate in this.
No, it's not. I just noticed that too.
That's some bullshit. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
What would you rank this hot toy, real quick?
Oh, rate the hot toy.
I
So,
think I have some issues with that, so I say maybe like a 7.5 out of 10.
I would say an 8 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. I think I don't like these air pockets. If they're gonna do that body shape, it needs to be the body right there.
Because it's not like
there's like a
that's
weird
a body
air
shape.
pocket.
Yeah, if it was a body there, I wouldn't have an
the
issue.
chest pushes down too. Did you feel the chest? It like pushes down weird, not on the boobs, but like on the collarbone.
I feel like that's like normal fleshy skin.
I guess the boots don't bend
I don't mind.
They only
that.
bend at the knee, but like, yeah, but you can't. I've already tried. You can't do her pose.
You can't do her pose.
No, but with
Oh,
the
I
new one,
bet you
they've
the new one.
posed the new one in there.
Okay, good.
So-
We're just gonna have to get the new one.
I think we'll end up getting the new one. But yeah, she's cool.
Yeah. And yeah, that's all I really got though.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Adios, gentle viewers. Hasta luego. Now let's do a
A thumbnail.
thumbnail.